So, please let us welcome our speaker for this evening on Swami Vivekananda, Swami Ishatmananda ji.
I am thankful to Srimad Swami Sri Dharananda Ji Maharaj for allowing me to come over here to stay. When I was planning that I will come to see him, because when we were young brahmacharis in Advaita Ashram, he used to come from Lucknow. And obviously, is it okay? Can you hear me? Yeah. Can you hear me today? No.
Fix the mic.
The Swamiji used to come from Lucknow to Calcutta to Advaita Ashram, used to serve him with the tea and all that. The tall, giant figure, but very smiling face. So in the beginning we used to be afraid, but then afterwards we understood and very, very nice, a very courteous and perfect gentleman. So we used to hear from him many stories. Now that we have also grown and he is also, and now I am in Chicago, he is here, and this time Chicago is very, very cold, and I was getting the news that it is extremely cold. So we observed our celebration, Vivekananda celebration, on the 12th of January. Then I thought this time, when I am going to India, I should go to Australia to pay my respect to the great Swami. I am here, and I plan to spend this celebration, 21st of this January, Swami Vivekananda's Titi Puja. So I purchased the ticket, and in that way, so that from Fiji, when I come over here, I come in the morning. It was all right, but the calculation was a little late. I came here at about 1 o'clock, I think 1:30. The puja was over, but I got the prasad. And then I got this opportunity suddenly when Swamiji asked me to give a talk on Swami Vivekananda. So this is really, I'm very, very lucky that in this wonderful, the ashrama, I got this opportunity to speak on Vivekananda. So from the childhood, I love Vivekananda. Sri Ramakrishna and Ma Sharadamani Devi, it came afterwards. But when Swamiji used to say, they only live who live for others, the rest are more dead than alive, it used to inspire us. So we used to think something we should do. We never knew what to do. But the Vivekananda was always an ideal. You know, friends, it was January 12, 1863, when Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, the greatest mystic of the world, he was pacing up and down on the bank of the Ganga in Dakshinesha. And so there, he was waiting for someone to come. He was watching the sky. And suddenly, there was a bright light, star, and that was moving from the Dakshinesha, crossing the Ganga towards Calcutta. And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was very happy. And he shouted, "Oi Elo, Oi Elo." There he comes, there he comes. Those who have read the biography, you know whom he mentioned, and afterwards Ramakrishna said that it is the Sapta Rishi, the 7 great rishis, who could retain their individuality in the realm of oneness. Nothing can be there except that one Parabrahma. Even then, in that realm, 7 of them, they are retaining their individuality. He is one of them. And the Supreme Lord went and whispered that you have to come down to help me to establish a religion. Why the Avatara comes? Only one that work, dharma sthapana. So when the Avatara came, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, in that form of Sri Ramakrishna, and he called this rishi to come down. On the remembering this, there is a great, the wonderful, the stotra that is called Pranama Mantra for Swami Vivekananda. Will you please join me to recite that? Let me say, and then you can repeat. Parutatve Sadalino Ramakrishna Samagaya Yo dharma Sthapanarato Viresham Tam namamyaham Viresham Tam namamyaham. We bow down to that hero who was immersed in the meditation, but at the behest of his Guru Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he worked to establish the righteousness, religion, dharma sthapanarata. And what is that dharma? What is that righteousness? It's nothing but to know our own self. That is the ultimate. I have to know myself. As Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, Ishwar love manushya jivanet uddeshya. God realization is the ultimate goal of human being. And in the Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta, they say, Aham Brahmasmi, I am that supreme being. Lord Jesus also puts it in a beautiful way. He said, I and my Father in heaven are one. So that is the ultimate of religion. I have to merge with that. Because what is yoga? The yoga is the merging of the Jivatma with the Paramatma. That is ultimate of dharma. And now, to establish that, the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna brought Swami Vivekananda. If we notice, after the Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Sri Ramachandra, he took the help of Hanumanji, Mahavir Hanuman, to establish dharma. But that time, it was in a different way he used. He had to punish some people. And then afterwards, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he did the same thing to establish the dharma. He took the help of Arjuna. And that time also, he had to punish some killing people, bad people. But in the modern time, and this time which is all people are thinking about the body only. What is Papa? The Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali. What is the speciality of Kali? Body. I. People don't understand. Then when you say I, putting this hand on our chest, is this I, this body? The body which was a little, lying on the lap of the mother, is that body? Or the grown-up body, or the grown-up body, or the grown-up body? Which body? Every time it is changing. Or the mind. Every time it is changing. When I say I, then is this the body? It cannot be because it is changing constantly. Mind, it is changing constantly. But still we say I. Before my birth, where was this I? After my death, where will be this I? And we are so much attached to this body. And naturally, with the body associated with everything, we think in this way, and that is called Kali Yuga. And that is called the sin. What is sin? Loving and thinking this transitory thing as permanent. That much. Now thousands of people, they are going and taking the dip in this terrible cold in Ganga. Why? Amrit. They think if they go and take a dip and they will be immortal. Let them be. I also went and took a dip one time. And that is the great faith. But what is this immortality? Becoming one with God. Becoming God. And that is the dharma. And to establish that dharma, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna came this time, but not to kill anyone. Notice it. He has not come with the bow and arrow or the Sudarshana. Though he himself said, he who was Rama, he who was Krishna, now in this body. But this time, a very interesting weapon he is using. What is that? Holding the hand and bowing down before others. Removing the ego. And that is why Swami Vivekananda, Ma Saradamani Devi, the Shakti, they are all working on that. Remove the ego, you are God yourself. But it is not so easy. The moment a child becomes 1 or 2 years, immediately, the moment the child can say, there's a I, my mother, my father. They don't like to share. Why the ego? In the Christianity, they call it the sin. And what is that sin? Adam and Eve, in the beginning, they were all right. God kept them in the garden, went inside. When he came back, they were hiding. Why? Body sense came. Ego came. So they were separating themselves from the God. That is the original sin they call. And what is this original sin? Nothing but ego. And that is the problem with us. Each and everyone, everywhere, feeling ego. But when we are flying, just look down. Can you identify any house? The small, small cottages. Hardly you can see the top, that much. Inside that, like tiny little beings are there. But still they are jumping. So that is the problem. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna came to remove that. And he said in his excellent the teaching, in his own Bengali, he said, Ami mole ghuchibe janja. If you can remove the I, the ego, all problem will be solved. And what is religion then? Removing the ego. And what happens? You need not to worry about that. You become that. Only all these practices, this puja, this japa, this dhyana, this charity, this visiting the holy places, all things only for that, to remove the ego. Retaining that ego, if you go on doing that, where you will be? That again Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna gives a beautiful story to explain that. The 4 drunkards, they crossed the river with a boat to another village. Perhaps the wine was cheaper over there. So they went over there. They knew how to row the boat. They went to the other village and they drank and then came back, and they 4 of them, they were rowing and rowing and rowing. Then in the morning when they became sober, they found, oh my God, whole night they were rowing without lifting that anchor. So it was there and whole night there. So by that way, we go to the temple, we donate, we take the name, we repeat the name, we do everything without removing our ego. And what happens? We remain in the same place. So that is what actually Swami Vivekananda, he is teaching us. The intellectual world, they understand things with all. If you say, he came down from the heaven and said this, they will say, okay, thank you. But you have to convince them with a different type of conviction may come, like the science, to prove them. And Vivekananda, that is the reason he talked about Vedanta in the West, in America and Europe and all the places, he talked about the Vedanta. And Vedanta never says accept it. Vedanta says understand it, judge it. And how to understand? In the Vedanta, they say we have to go to the original, because from that everything has come. In every religion say that God has created us. If God has created us, then we are all same. We are also God. Because God has created out of what? Out of God only. Because there is no second thing. And if you say there is a second thing, that means God is limited. It cannot be infinite. Immediately God is becoming limited, finite. And if it is a finite, it is limited, it will break one day. So there is no two, it must be one. So how God created? Out of His own. Yatha urnavi srijate grinnate cha. In the Upanishad it says, as the spider, it is creating the web out of its own. And then it takes back. Similarly, the Supreme Being thought, Ekaham bahushyamavihi, let me be many. I am one, let me be many. Immediately it became all this. So Hindus, they try to teach it to the ordinary people through different symbols and different images. And they created this beautiful image, Jagannatha. Have you seen the picture of Jagannatha? How many of you? Can you raise the hand? Not many. And this Jagannatha is a very beautiful picture, very interesting. Jagat means the supreme, that our whole universe. And Natha, he is the master of that. But you know the supreme being, supreme master, is not having legs. Jagannatha is not having legs. Not hands also. Only two big eyes, and that is also not having the eyelid. For us, Jagannatha. But for the other, they will be scared. Oh my God, what type of God is this? No hands, no feet, not even the eyelid. Why? Immediately there will be a story. A god, the wood floated, the king wanted to make an image, and then someone told, I can make the image, but you should not come till I finish it. The king could not restrain himself. One day he opened, and then unfinished he left. That's a beautiful story for children. But what is the philosophy behind? And that is Hinduism. Tad ejati, tanvai jati, tad dure, tad antike, tad antarasya sarvasya, tadu sarvasyasya bhayataha. That is there, that is here, that is inside, that is outside, that is everywhere. Saturated. There is not a single place where it is not present. So God doesn't need legs to reach, it is already there. God doesn't need hands to work. Just think and everything is done. But God is watching constantly and without any eyelid. Swami Vivekananda, he practiced this, and under the guidance of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And then, in a beautiful way, he presented. One day, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he came down from his samadhi, and they were talking about the seva, daya, etc. Jive daya, that is the Vaishnavas, that they do that. The Sri Ramakrishna said, no, you cannot do that. Who are you to say that daya, compassion? You can serve people. Jive Sheva. Sri Ramakrishna Dev hinted, if you can see God by closing your eyes, can't you see God with your open eyes? God is everywhere. You know, the people, they will be talking about the Vedanta. Vedanta means all are divine. I went to an ashrama. They're all Vedantin. Then I thought I will take some prasad. And you have to sit, you know, in India, squatting on the floor, and they are throwing the food on your plate. Why? Because we are pure and you may not be pure. So I don't know. So they are throwing. I told, don't throw the dal at least. That will be terrible. Don't throw the dal, but potato is okay throwing. Catching and putting. So, can you imagine, are they truly Vedantin? They don't understand what is Vedanta. Vedanta means there is no difference at all. That is exactly what Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna practiced in his life and taught to Swami Vivekananda. And they never say to the ordinary people because they may not understand it properly. They may misutilize it. I am God. I need not to meditate. Advaita Vedantin did not meditate. Why? On whom they will meditate? I am that. So I cannot meditate on others, any object. They do not do the japa. Whose name they will take? What do? They constantly go on analyzing. Am I this body? Am I this mind? Shankaracharya, in one of his beautiful stotra, he says, Mano buddhi ahamkara chittani naham, nacha sotra juve, nacha grana netri. I am not the eye, I am not the ear, I am not these mind or body or anything. What then I am? Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. And that is Vedanta. I have to feel that I am that supreme joy. Friends, most of you are now matured, some children are there. All through our life, what we are actually pursuing? Happiness, isn't it? We like to be happy. I become a doctor and then I am unhappy. Then I am prescribing myself every day two sleeping pills. What is the use of becoming a doctor who takes the sleeping pill to sleep? And look at even the President of America. Oh my God. The first person in the whole world, so powerful. Go and ask, sir, are you happy? He will take you aside and say, are you mad? How can I be happy? I do not know what is going to happen after 4 years. No one is happy. Even after getting all the wealth, they are so unhappy. Then who can be happy? We are pursuing for happiness. We cook food after eating to be happy. Now when you are cooking the food, you are looking at some picture and put the salt 3-4 times. You're supposed to be one, you give three. And then when you are eating, what will happen? Unhappiness. So same thing happens when we are not attentive. Swami Vivekananda said, the only thing that we should learn to meditate and to concentrate on what? On the truth. And what is the truth? I am everywhere. Whatever I like to do, I can do. And I should not be jealous of anyone. Because whatever the quality I am having, that is sufficient for me. I am happy. That happiness is contentment. And he said in a beautiful way, he said, a king can rule the country and a cobbler can mend a shoe. King cannot mend a shoe, a cobbler may not rule the country. But it doesn't matter. Each is great in his own place. Satisfaction. I can cook. I can maintain the household. I can keep things nicely. I am satisfied. So that is the thing. Every time I have to go and then people should take the photograph and that my picture should come in the newspaper and then I'll be unhappy. My picture has not taken from right angle. It should. And this is not the way to be happy. And we are all leaving because some people will be clapping. Are you mad? We are not the animals that some people are clapping and we are surviving. Each and every one. The singer, constantly looking at the appreciation. The speakers, the writers, the leaders, everyone. And nowadays one thing has come. How many? And not only that, like a beggar they say, please click, please click. And it is almost like begging, because I'm not understanding, I am that God within me. So Swami Vivekananda said, you have to understand it. How? If you have not read the 4 yogas of Vivekananda, you must read. First, the biography of Vivekananda, the excellent, one young man, how he is growing up and becoming God himself. And think of the day, it was 11th September, when he came to America and gave that talk. Before that, what happened? The Vivekananda was the only Hindu monk, perhaps, in India who could speak in English. Because English was taboo for the holy people. It was a foreign language, so holy people should not speak. Mother tongue and Sanskrit. And one day Vivekananda was traveling in a train and 2 other educated Indian, they were also in the train, the first class. And they were wondering, a Geruva clad person, first class? How come? And he was sleeping, Vivekananda. And they were talking in English, thinking that this man won't understand. So they were telling, look at this. The parasites. This is a young man. Vivekananda is so good looking. Once you look at him, you have to look at him. Vivekananda is so good looking, very attractive. And so they were looking at him and going on, discussing, look at the young man, he could be so helpful for society, and look, they are parasites, depending on the society, begging and leaving. Vivekananda didn't reply anything, he was sleeping like that. Then a British ticket checker came. So he had to talk in English. And with the flawless English, when Vivekananda spoke with that ticket checker, then again, when the train moved, these 2 fellows, they were asking, sir, do you understand English? Yes. Did you understand that what we were discussing? Of course. But why you have not replied? But this is not the first time I am meeting the fools. So that was the reaction. When he came to America, we are always jealous because we always think, why I should not get that, why I should not get that. The Tata, Birla, they are so rich and we are very unhappy. Why I should not get that? And they had worked so hard. Some maybe here and there that I don't know, but They have worked hard. Anyone successful must have worked very, very hard. The lady she was playing, you try that? You won't be able to touch one stick. It is a practice. And they meditate hours together, practice. So obviously, all depends on your own effort. So when we are putting finger on someone, actually we are blaming ourselves. One of our senior Swamiji used to say, when I was complaining actually, I told that man, he is a, then he told, hey, wait. See, one finger you are putting towards him, the three of your own finger putting towards you. See like this? So you are putting only one finger to him, but the three of your own fingers saying you are, the problem is with you. So we have to rectify ourselves. How? The Vivekananda gave 4 yogas. And in the 4 yoga, best is Karma Yoga. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he asked about Karma Yoga, one chapter dedicated to Karma Yoga. And what is Karma Yoga? Do everything, but don't expect anything in return. That's all. One lady invited me to their house to eat, and after that, very elderly lady, and motherly, she came very close, and she was not having the teeth. And she was eating, chewing the pan, in Bengal. And she was going on putting, this plate has been prepared by this girl. And from her mouth, all this, it was coming down on the plate. I was thinking, oh my God, today I have to fast. Now, love is there, but you have to be careful what I am doing. So that is the main way we have to. So what is religion? To understand myself. Who am I? God. And who said it? Swami Vivekananda. How he said? He said in this way, he said that each soul is potentially divine. Look at it. It is not the Hindu or Muslim or Christian or Buddhist. Each soul is potentially divine. Potentiality is there. The goal is to manifest the divinity within by controlling nature, external and internal. Now somebody will say something, immediately we are reacting. No. Maybe he looks at me in this way, it is okay. So I have to control. And external and internal. Do this and be free. So Vivekananda's these quotations, each soul is potentially divine. And we have to, and what is the divinity actually? Jesus Christ also said, blessed are those who are pure in heart, for they shall see God. I do not know why do they say, the sinner. He said, there are people, they can see God. You have to make your mind only pure. What is this purity? What is this divinity? Going and bathing in the Ganga? If you go to any place of Ganga, thousands of people every day, poor people, they go and bathe over there every day. And there is a Meera Bhajan. Have you heard the name of Meera? The Meera, the beautiful, that she was the greatest of the Vaishnava. She said that Patthar pujan se Hari mile to main puju pahad. Do you think that only stone worship is the main? If that is so, I will worship a hill. Falmul khakar Hari mile to badur badur. If you think only eating the vegetarian food you will get realization, then all the monkeys would have been already. Now all the birds and monkeys and all those things, it is not. What Meera said, Meera kahe, bina prem se, nahi mile nandalala. Without the love, without the devotion, then what is this love? Love for God, love for yourself. Who is this God? Myself. I am. And when you are meditating, try to meditate that you are the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And you are sitting like this, and there is no one except you, Sri Ramakrishna. That is the best meditation. So one way, by concentrating on God. Second, by working for others. Those who are poor, the illiterate, the downtrodden, the oppressed. They are my object of worship. Swami Vivekananda said. They are my object of worship. If you can help them, you get the blessings of Vivekananda. Whoever will work for me, my power will enter into him. Can you imagine? Friends, truly I am telling you, we got the opportunity, at least myself got the opportunity. I saw it, miracles. I was in Andaman. Nothing was there. But so many things started happening, including the Prime Minister of India, Atal Bihari Vajpayee. He came and he was touching my feet. And no one. And with great respect, can you imagine? My brother won't be able to approach the Prime Minister. But the Prime Minister came and he was touching my feet. Why? Because I was working for the poor, the downtrodden people, illiterate people. They came to inaugurate that. Is it not miracle? It's truly miracle. Very ordinary people. They're doing so many things. We never earn any money. But we have helped so many people. Maybe 1 billion we have already distributed. How it is? Miracle. Whoever will work for me, my power will enter into him. We have to have the faith. Swamiji is there. Mother is there. And who are my objects? The poor, illiterate people? No, they're gods. They do not know, but I know them. I have to work for them. When I'm seeing that a patient happily going away, my God is pleased. When I see my student is successful in the exam, my God is pleased on me. That is called karma yoga. Bhakti yoga, whatever you think, offer to God. Yat karoshi, yat asnasi, yat juhosi, tadasi yat tapashyasi kaunteya, tat kurushya madarpana, Bhagavad Gita. Whatever you think, give it to me. So be careful. In our Chicago, another village is there, Lemont. It's a very famous village. And the village was established in 1836. That's the birth year of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And there, the Hindu temple is there. And they all, in the Hindu temple, as they always do, pouring the water on the Shiva, and that they were doing. And they took me over there. If you pour the water, you have to pay $500. So, husband and wife, you have to carry your own water, and then you go above and pour the water and all that. They took me to give a talk. I told, don't invite me, because we are at a different time. The Vedanta always analyze, so it is better. No, Swami, you have to come. Well, I told, what actually you are giving to God? What is that water? Karma phala. Do you know that? And when the Hindus, they are burning their dead bodies on the fire, and their son or someone will be going round that, carrying a pitcher full of water, and they make a hole, and the water is falling at the back. What is that? It's leaving the karma phala on the floor, and then they are going. It's not so easy. Karma phala is very difficult. So whatever you give to God, 10 times come back. Now you are pouring the water. If that is not good, then what will happen? Nearly half the people, they withdrew the registration. So, no, we are not taking the risk. So anyway, then the authority was telling Swamiji, don't give this type of lecture. I told, it is true. Whatever you give to God, 10 times you will get back. The Putana, the stories you must be knowing. The Putana, the lady, she came to feed the baby Krishna, but actually she wanted to kill that baby. So applied that, the venom, the poison. What happened? She was killed. But the same act of a mother, when she is doing, Yashoda, getting the joy of the heaven. So whatever approach you give to God, when you go to God and say to God, please help me recovering my this knee pain and all. Right knee pain, then left knee pain will come. The knee pain is over, then the elbow. Elbow is over, then. And then you have to go to God all the time. And God knows if I cure him, well, one time, all that apple was coming, that will stop. Continue. So then, whatever you are giving to God, what I am giving to God? My thought. And what is that thought? God, you are my father, you are my mother, you know me, I do not know you. So please hold my hand. I make mistakes again and again. My mind is weak. Won't you help me? God will help you. So that's what Swami Vivekananda said in his Bhakti Yoga. A great love for God. When the mother is scolding the baby, child, what the child does, it goes and embraces the mother, herself. And mother is then again patting and taking the baby on the lap. So we have to go to God. I made a mistake. And I promise that I will try not to repeat it. The God will forgive you, for sure. So don't be afraid of God. In English they say, is a devoted person means God-fearing person. Wrong. Why should we be afraid of God? God is myself. God is my father. So devotion, God is my father. God is my mother. God is my friend. You know, the God is also friendly. Hinduism is unique. It says that in 5 approaches, God can be your lover. So the 5 approaches are there. Arjuna was a friend of Krishna. He was not a devotee, he was a friend. And Arjuna went to Krishna's place, and Krishna observed that Arjuna is not behaving normally. So what happened to you? Nothing. No, you can tell me everything. Then the Arjuna said, no, I saw a beautiful lady, and she goes to worship over there in the temple. I was thinking how to approach her. I'd like to marry her. Krishna the God said, is it? Let me see who is that lady. Next day they said, oh my God, this is my sister. Then Arjuna was happy. That's good. Then can't you introduce me? She is not only my sister. She is the sister of my elder brother also. And my elder brother doesn't like you at all. Arjuna. And that's why, and he has already decided to give her marriage to the Duryodhana. So there is a problem. Arjuna said, but please help me. So, okay, one day I will engage my elder brother, and you know this, my sister. You know, the Kshatriyas, they do like that. And go out of our border. Otherwise, he's so powerful, he will kill you. Then Krishna went and helped Arjuna, and that is God is doing as a friend. And this is Hinduism. God can be my friend, my lover, my father, my mother, my child also. Sometimes they will be feeding the baby. One lady was having terrible time in the airport. The airport authority, they are telling you have to put everything through that machine. He said, this is my God. Sorry. She was carrying the baby Krishna, the metal Krishna. And every time they are trying to touch, there is sounding, and then they told, no, we have to taste it. Check it. What is it? Oh my God, I cannot allow you to touch. And all people are waiting unless this is solved and they cannot come. So I said, this is mother affection. And then you can meditate on God. Forget everything. Withdraw your mind and concentrate on God. So through karma yoga, through bhakti yoga, through dhyana yoga, and through jnana yoga. If you please read these 4 yogas, What is the contribution of Swami Vivekananda? He introduced the actual India to the world. The world was not knowing India. It is Vivekananda who introduced the India to the world. And one wondered, is this India? So many things. Becoming old, slowly. So this we have to understand. And thank you, friends. Thank you for the patience hearing. And we must read the life of Swami Vivekananda. And if possible, Sri Ramakrishna Maharaj. It's a unique life. Even if you are not the follower of Ramakrishna, it doesn't matter. If you read the life of Sri Ramakrishna, the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the life of Swami Vivekananda, you will get inspiration. Even the person who is breaking down, if you read Vivekananda, the strength will come. And he will say, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. You will say that believe yourself. You have to believe yourself. I can do it. If all can do, I can also do. He is asking us again and again, be like Nachiketa. When the Nachiketa's father, I am just giving the hints, I expect that every one of you know it. In the Kathopanishad, that young boy, when he saw his father is cheating, he is giving all the dilapidated and the old cows to others. And then good cows where he was hiding somewhere. Then the son told, this is not good, why you are cheating people? Karma phala will be very bad. To save the father, he said, I am also your property. So where you are giving to me, his father became angry. You go to the death. Then at that time he said, Bahunameni Pratamo, Bahunameni Madhyama. I am the first among many. I am the second among many. But I am not the last one. Why then you are asking me to go to death? That is called self-confidence. It is not ego. The egoistic person say, I only can do it. No one else. But a self-confident person will say, I too can do it. Let us pray to Swamiji. To Swamiji, please hold our hands and give us courage so that we can reach our goal. And what is that goal? I should become the God. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.